Hi guys, Mike with Fights with Friends here. Hours after Bellator ends tonight, we're going to do something called Rizin. If you haven't watched Rizin yet, think of Pride. If you're a fight fan, you probably remember Pride. Vanderlei Silva came over from that. Rampage Jackson, Dan Henderson. A lot of the great fighters that ended up being some of the legends in the UFC fought over in Japan before they came to the UFC, to the United States. So Rizin has done a good job of bringing this back with the old rules, the Japanese MMA rules, which for those faint of heart that wish not to see these sorts of things, violence warning, kicks to the head of a down opponent, knees to the head of a down opponent, and head stomps are 100% legal to the head of a downed opponent. So this adds another barrier to the rules of MMA. This adds a whole new concept. Your techniques have to be different, especially for wrestlers. You have these guys are people that are trying to pull guard. You go and pull guard, I just kick you right in the face. Good luck pulling guard. So tonight coming back, Mirko Crocop's actually coming back. Diego Brando is fighting Darren Cruikshank. And there's like 10 other fights on this. It will be probably about 6 hours. There's like a 30-40 minute intermission in the middle of it. So for us over here in the United States, we get to feel what the rest of the world feels like most of the time. And I end up watching this at a weird time. But I have a deal with Rizin. I'm going to make it worth your while. Let's just say that. To stay up, I'm gonna make it worth your while. This is not going to be your average fight companion, fight live reaction. Let's just put it that way. I'm looking forward to it. It is in a ring. So it's a little different kind of ring. And I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I like MMA in a cage. And I like MMA in a ring. And they're two different things. There's so many different variables. And I can't really say I like one more than the other. All I can tell you is that it's different. You cannot wall walk when you're in a ring and you have ropes. They are very good. You know, people probably ask, oh, what happens if you start falling through the ropes? They're very good at making sure the fighters stay inside of that ring. They actually have people on the outside of the ring. It's very interesting. Now, another thing is if they do start to go out, like out of bounds, I know a lot of people are probably afraid of, if you know, jiu-jitsu matches. You know, or judo, when you go out of bounds and you go past that white tape, they bring you back and they restart you. Rizin is, don't ask me how they do it. I mean, you can see it, you have to see it to believe how they do it. But they will take the fighters back to the original position, and it works. Every single time, I've seen it pretty much every single time, it works. Because I was thinking, oh yeah, he's got him in a great position. He's got him, you know, he had him in full mount. And this guy's dropping elbows on somebody. No, now the referee's going to break him. He's not going to be able to give him that position back in the center of the ring. Yes, he is. 100%. And the fighters are not allowed to continue until they're back in pretty much the exact same position that they were at before they went out of the ring. So that's very, very interesting. This whole thing is, it's just a little different. And the Japanese fans, of course, are a little different. I love the Japanese fans. They're quiet. They don't scream and yell like in America when there's a head kick knockout or something like that very often. they show respect. It's not like a quiet like they're bored. It's definitely not. They're quiet because they're showing respect to the fighters. And another element of it that people really loved about Pride, and they brought back for Rizin, is the ceremony. I'm a big fan of, I think you can have fighting, old school fighting, get in there, two tough dogs kicking the crap out of each other for 25, 30 minutes. And I also think you can have a rock concert before they come down there. I think you can have fireworks. I think you can have the ramp. I don't think that that takes away from the experience inside the ring or inside the cage. I think it adds to it. I know a lot of people would disagree with me and say, oh, you're not a purist. This is entertainment. I'm watching to be entertained. I love fighting, but I am watching to be entertained. So please entertain me. Give me fireworks. Give me great walkout music. Give me an excited announcer. They have the announcer, actually the original announcer that was from Pride, the Pride Lady, and they give these huge trophies out. And it's this big ceremonial thing. They do these dances. The ring walks can get a little long. But I ask you for a night to just embrace it. Just embrace the culture, embrace what's going on. It is going to be a little different than what the UFC or even Bellator is like today. But I think you'll enjoy it if you keep an open mind. And like I said, once the fighting gets in there, you know, once the fighters get inside that ring, and the kicks to a down opponent, the knees to a down opponent, the stomps to the head of a down opponent, it really adds another element to the fight, especially for wrestlers. So I hope you join me tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, I know it's late, but hey, we're all going to be watching Bellator from 7 till probably 10 anyway. So you're going to be up, have a cup of coffee. That's what I'm doing. Make it an all-nighter. Now, I hope you guys join me. I hope you enjoy it. And I know we're going to see a lot of people from Japan, because I always have a ton of people from Japan. The last 2 times I've done Rizin, actually it ended up being minute-wise. The first time I did Rizin is still the most minutes I've ever logged for any show ever, because there were so many Japanese fans in there and they watched for so long, and it's such a long event. So I will see you tonight for both those. Like I said, Darren Crunkshake versus Diego Brando, Mirko Crocop. This is a great card. I will leave a link to the entire card down below so you guys can go through it and the times and everything. I will see you guys tonight. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your finances later.